Um, so my name is Melissa. Um, so who am I and who am I? Who are my people? Um, so a big part of who I am is I'm a third culture kid, um, which means I grew up in a different country than what is on my passport. Um, so the question, who are my people, is frankly a pretty dreaded question among my community. I would say that my community is um, third world or third country or, well, blanking, third culture kids. Simply because we just have such a unique experience. We don't share a culture with our parents, but we also don't share a culture necessarily fully share a culture with those we grew up with. So we find ourselves in a very unique limbo situation where I'm not American per se. So much of me and what I value doesn't line up with the traditional American, whatever. But I'm also not fully Rwandese because I have different values. So, who are my people? People who love Jesus, people who love traveling, people who have intimate experience of what suffering looks like. Who are my people? People who I can count on, who I can trust to show up. Um, who am I? Oh my goodness. These are tough questions. Who am I? Um, Someone who loves Jesus a lot, but is deeply aware of how much she fails at that. But there's a lot of room for grace in that, and therefore there's grace for other people as well when they don't live up to the standards of Jesus. Um, yeah. What is my interest in this class? I love the topics of diversity and oppression. I feel like I've really grown exponentially since joining college because America just has such a unique history that a lot of countries don't have. And I had no idea any of this existed overseas. And that's not a cop out. Like, I should know because even missions is affected by the unique history of um, colonization. Like, there, it's affected as well, but I just had no idea. And plus, kind of an arrogance about, well, I've grown up, as a minority in a different country. I know what it's like. No, I do not. I know nothing. So I've really grown in, hopefully, humility, just realizing how little I know about these topics, but just really, um, just, it's a privilege to be learning more. It's heartbreaking, but it's also totally worth it. What draws me to social work field is sitting with people in their brokenness and messiness and um, just being a sounding board for them. I think that's why I've been loving providing therapy for clients in my internship. It's just a really sacred space to be sitting with them in their worst seasons of life, or as they're talking and thinking about their worst seasons of life. Yeah, it's just totally a privilege to just sit with them in that and then maybe provide some guidance, maybe help them grow in some areas, hopefully. What is my working knowledge of the topics? I have done quite a bit of personal study in these topics, and then I feel like Bethel's done a really great job of continually just growing us as students' awareness of these topics. My working knowledge, I mean, in my internship, I have predominantly, or clients from like minority clients. I have a majority of minority clients. There we go. That was a struggle to say. So yeah, I think I've really got to see face to face like the true challenges. Or yeah, I don't know. I just have seen really up close and personal some challenges in how the systems are working against my clients. Um, my faith really connects with these. I think Jesus's love for the oppressed and for the brokenhearted really was just such a prime part of his ministry. And I work at I'm on a biblical justice and diversity team at my church, and that's really grown my awareness of these things and grown my passion for how this is so biblical to care about this kind of stuff. And how it's not just an optional thing to care about, but like it's a mandatory. Like we need to grow and learn and care about this. We don't have the luxury of not caring. And so there is no dissonance. I think maybe just a challenge is trying to navigate, what Jesus's words mean in the 21st American continent. Sorry, my dog. What that looks like in our context is the primary challenge. So, yes, thank you for your time.